Delhi Crime launched back in 2019 to widespread acclaim, becoming the first Indian show to walk away with an international Emmy. The drama has now made a comeback with a new 5-part series which takes on a very different investigation but no less disturbing. Here's everything you need to know about the Netflix show and how much is rooted in reality. Is Delhi Crime Season 2 based on a true story? Much like Season 1, yes, Delhi Crime Season 2 is also rooted in real-life events, albeit deviating from specific cases this time around. In the trailer for Season 2, it's confirmed there's been a 20% rise in Delhi's crime rate, with the team looking into murders committed by the Kashcha Banyan gang, which has become active after 20 years lying dormant. Lead detective Vartika Chaturvedi, played by Saif Ali Shah, says the gang has been managing to operate undeterred and isn't make mistakes, which is why they are able to evade capture. She goes on to detail how their victims are brutally murdered, with the gang members using iron rods, hammers and axes to kill people. Another interesting detail the officer mentions is the fact the gang members cover themselves in oil when they go out on their attacks. Delhi Crime's makers were inspired by real-life gangs, which are also known as Chatti Banyan gangs and were operating in North India in the 1990s. Members of the Kashcha Banyan gangs wore only their underwear when committing their crimes. They also wore masks and covered their body in oil to disguise their identities as they went about their attacks in remote locations. Prior to their attacks, members posed as beggars, laborers and would even do magic tricks as they scoped out houses to rob. The gang members would operate in large groups as they went about tying up family members and killing those who resisted. Unlike Season 1, the second outing doesn't follow a particular case but uses the gang as a jumping-off point for a fictional story. Delhi Crime's director Tanu Chopra said of working on Season 2, "Before we wrote a word of the script, we went through documents and case files and interviewed reporters who covered the crimes when they were happening. We spoke to police and academics who covered the communities the show is about, and people from the community itself." He added to Deadline about the process for the new series, "All those perspectives go into crafting our narrative." Season 2 will also see the morality of the police officers waver as the show moves further away from real-life events and the characters become more complex. Lead star Singh said this time around she was able to delve even deeper into her character than before. She told the Hindustan Times, "In Season 1, there was a crime that shook the entire nation and the world, and how this team reacted to it. Here, it is not as simple as there is a crime and there are culprits and evidence. Here, there is so much of introspection that it is amazing." Season 1 was based on the 2012 Delhi bus rape case in which physiotherapy student Jyoti Singh was brutally sexually assaulted by a group of men. The attack, also known as the Nirbhaya case, garnered international headlines globally and mobilized the women's rights campaign in India, as well as starting conversations about tackling rape and sexual violence toward women in the country. Delhi Crime Season 2 is streaming on Netflix now.